All right, now from grocery discounts to first class upgrades, Australians are swimming in loyalty programs, but many don't actually know how to track or maximize the value of their points. So we thought we'd ask an expert. So I'm happy to say joining us to break this all down is Daniel Skiberis, who's the rewards expert at payments and rewards platform pay.com.au, which sounds like the antithesis of our sponsor, Savings.com.au. But nevertheless, g'day, Daniel. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Tom.
Good to have
And
you
Harrison
back,
too.
Daniel. Last time you were on was episode 8 in the bad old days of our first few episode runs. Now we're up to 105, so we've come a long way since then. And for you, new title, and pay.com.au sounds like a pretty interesting brand. But before we kick off into the sort of credit card chat, do you have a savings tip for us?
Yeah, my savings tip is just to make sure that I direct debit a little portion of my pay every fortnight, in my case, and to put it into some form of savings or an investment. So whether it's a high interest savings account or if I want to go into ETFs or shares, etc. Just making sure I've got that routine and that consistency, and not, in my case, not trying to time the market because it's hit and miss in my case or that. So just constantly getting in the market, investing is my tip, and just getting a habit of doing that.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, that sounds like dollar cost averaging, which is certainly a good strategy that a lot of people employ. So a good savings tip, Daniel. So getting onto all these rewards points and whatnot, what are some hidden ways Australians can earn points on their regular spending on bills and essential purchases?
Well, look, in terms of at Pay, we definitely skew towards earning points for business expenses, but look, it overlaps with consumers as well. So the best way is to, one, identify all the partners that are present in the actual rewards program that you're in, because that's the first step. You don't want to be leaving any points on the table when you're actually transacting with a partner and not even realizing it. But look, credit cards is always one of the most lucrative ways to earn those points, because one, not only do they offer a welcome bonus when you join up for a particular card, whether it's a consumer card or a small business card, but more importantly, it's something that you're utilizing pretty much every day. So just like my savings tip about getting into a habit of consistently saving, same with when it comes to making the necessarily evil when it comes to business and having to make those expenses, and also for consumers as well. You want to make sure you get into a habit of earning those points on your expenses, because you're going to have them every day, and you just want to make sure that you're getting a bang for your buck on that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, a lot of business credit cards, I think people have preconceived notions about them that they only offer like airline lounge access or something, where if you're not traveling for your work, then that might not be much use to you. But how can businesses take advantage of those credit card offers, and what should particularly small businesses be looking for in a credit card?
Well, in terms of, firstly, the welcome bonuses, you're going to get them in both the business cards as well. It's not just predominantly on the personal side of things. So make sure that you find yourself a good offer, but more importantly, a card that actually is meeting your needs as well. A lot of small business cards or business cards have the benefit of things such as linking up to online, accounting software to make the reporting and the tracking of the expenses very easy. So that's one thing that you want to look for in a business card, but most of them have that. Also, things like the ability to have many supplementary cards that you can give out to your staff, heads of staff or heads of departments, etc., to make business expenses a lot easier. But aside from that, there's a lot of overlap as well, where you're going to be earning points on your expenses. Of course, in this case, it's business expenses. And look, in terms of the benefits, it depends on the type of card you're getting, whether you're going to get lounge access or anything like that. But and there's different types as well. You've got those direct earn cards, especially with Qantas, where you'll be locked into earning Qantas currency. So if, for example, your business is one that travels or needs to travel a lot with to destinations that Qantas or any of its One World partners or Jetstar even fly to, then that may be the card for you. But then there's a lot of other more flexible rewards program cards, like those American Express business cards that will allow you to go into a flexible rewards program where you can pick and choose where you redeem your points or where the business redeems their points. And there's lots of airline partners and other travel partners there as well.
Now, Daniel, I get the sense that credit card use has really made quite a comeback over the last few years, because it wasn't that long ago that with the advent of buy now, pay later, that a lot of people were talking up the death of the credit card. But I'm reminded of Mark Twain. Reports of my death were greatly exaggerated, because it seems like credit card usage has really picked up. But is that the case, and if so, what's driving that?
Yeah, that reminds me of also online shopping was meant to kill shopping malls, right? And it hasn't. So, the buy now, pay later, I feel it's going to get regulated to such a way that there's going to be very little distinction between credit cards and the buy now, pay later. I think we're already beginning to see that just from recent events. But aside from that, credit cards are always have got that special appeal. Just one, it's ease of use. Everyone's accepting credit cards nowadays, especially even in a digital format. So it's just easy, both for personal and business use, but also the rewards. You're going to get, people, as much as they say, rewards, whatever, people will make decisions in terms of which airline they're going to fly based on their rewards program, and also how they spend as well. So, and which credit card they're going to use, or which form of payment they're going to use. And at the moment, credit cards do offer those rewards. The buy now, pay laters don't. And I think that's why there's still that demand for credit cards, especially in the business space.
Yeah. Now, Daniel, bit of a double-barreled question for you. You mentioned earlier about Amex, for example, being a bit more flexible. You accrue points on their platform, which can be exchanged for, say, velocity points or whatever it is. But it's often at a 2-for-1 rate, so your 2 points becomes 1 point. Where would your money be at the moment in regards to, should you stick with one brand such as like Qantas points, or is it better to be a bit more flexible? And then off the back of that, are there any sort of point deals out there at the moment that have caught your eye?
I always have a preference for flexibility over locking yourself into anything. But having said that, it depends on your personal circumstances or the business's circumstances. So if, for example, like I said earlier, your business travels to destinations that Qantas frequent a lot, or for example, let's say you've got a lot of business in Dallas, Fort Worth, and then to other areas in the United States. Well, One World, and therefore, by extension, Qantas points are going to be very good for you. It wouldn't make sense to go and, earn United miles, for example, because then you'll have to do multiple connections to get to Dallas. So it's based on the circumstance which is going to be more beneficial for you. But like I said, I do prefer that flexibility, because you can choose where you're going to transfer your points, and it could also be based around award availability, for example. So one program mightn't have reward seats, but another program might, that will get you to where you want to go. And then you can just transfer your points to that program and make that booking instantly. Also, things such as Amex Platinum Business Card. For most flexible rewards programs, Qantas is usually excluded from them. So you do sometimes have to make that decision or carry two types of cards. But with the Amex Business Platinum, Qantas is a partner as well. So that I would stick more to the flexible myself, but there's no universal answer to that.
Now, obviously, credit cards aren't for everyone, and there can be some real dangers of using a credit card, and you can fall into a credit card debt spiral pretty easily. But I guess a lot of people are warned about these dangers so much that perhaps they're a bit scared off by credit cards. But I guess perhaps what are the top one or two things that people should keep in mind of when they're considering signing up for a credit card? Like, what are the main advantages they should look for?
Yeah, look, it depends what your financial circumstances are and how you utilize, credit cards. Depends on what type of credit card you're going to get. If you're a person who's looking to pay off your card in full each and every month, and that would be the number one rule. If you want to get a rewards card, then that would be the rule, and rewards cards would be for you. Because sure, you get things like annual fees and things like that, but if you're putting a lot of money on your card, and obviously small businesses do put a lot of money on their card, then you should come out on top if you're paying your bills off in time. Now, of course, if you do have a rewards card and you aren't paying your bills in time and you're incurring interest, well, that interest could negate any benefit that you're getting on rewards, to the point where you could actually be going backwards. So you don't want to do that. If you're still wanting the the ease of payment that credit cards can afford, but you're looking to maybe not be able to pay your cards off in full, then go for those lower fee, less rewards types credit cards, because the interest rates will be lower, and that would be the way to go. But having said that, I mean, all this is, I don't want to give any, personal financial advice. You've got to make sure that it meets your financial circumstances, and you are talking to a professional if you're unsure. But that's the general rule. If you're wanting those rewards cards, they're going to come with higher interest. So make sure that you pay off your card in full every month.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb there, Daniel. Just finally, for those people or those small business owners, they might have, for example, gone from a sole trader. Maybe they have someone under them now. Their business is growing. They're after a credit card. They're not really sure where to start. They're a bit like Bambi in the forest, finding their legs. It seems like the credit card market, there's people who aren't using it to their full advantage, and it just sits in their wallet, and they pay for it through an annual fee every year. And then there's those people that are like really hacking their way to first class flights and stuff like that, such as yourself. Where would you suggest going? What are some resources, or how can people learn how to go from the person who's being taken advantage of to actually take advantage of those offers?
So look, if you're starting out, you're a small business, you've got cash flow behind you, you're a sole trader, etc. Well, there's an opportunity, especially if you go through Pay, for example, to not only double dip, but even triple dip the number of points that you get on your business expenses. So first thing to know is, yes, always get a small business card, put everything on it, and make sure you pay everything off in full. That's always rule number one. But not all business expenses are going to get you points. So, for example, government type transactions and even like ATO bills and BAS and things like that businesses always incur. For most Visa, MasterCard, you won't earn any points at all. And for something like American Express, you're going to earn at a very discounted rate. So one of the things that you want to do, aside from getting that rewards card, is to look at a platform like pay.com.au, because what happens is if you transact through us with your credit card, you're going to get the full suite of points, even on transactions that normally wouldn't earn points on that card. So you're going to benefit that way, and then also you're going to have that ability to double dip in terms of what you earn. So, by the way, it's not even just on credit card transactions. So, for example, many businesses will need to interact with a supplier that mightn't even offer any credit card facilities at all. So they'll just give you a bank account. Normally, again, you wouldn't be able to earn any points on a bank transfer, but if you go through pay.com.au, you'll be able to earn points on the bank transfer as well. So that's the first tranche of being able to earn points. The second one is Pay customers are then also able to elect to purchase additional points, and those points are called Pay Rewards points, and we're very proud of this because this is our own Pay Rewards currency, and we've developed a flexible rewards program, the ones that I love, that actually has currently 9 airline partners and 3 hotel partners, and that includes big ones such as Qantas Business Rewards, Virgin Australia Business Flyer, Chris Flyer, but it also includes some partners that aren't even available on the American Express reward system. So Aeroplan, for example, which is one of the best loyalty programs in the market at the moment, and also even things like Vietnam Lotus Miles, but also in the hotel space, Accor Live Limitless, IHG1 Rewards. American Express don't have those. So Pay customers can elect to purchase those Pay Rewards points and then be able to transfer them to any of those 12 partners. And then if you're really a hacker, you can triple dip. So you can use a bank transfer to pay your credit card bills off as well and get that third tranche. So if I was starting a business, I'd definitely be looking at us in that sense at Pay, because you can definitely triple dip your way to either, experiences and travel for yourself, or to be able to, for example, reward your employees, etc., with points. So we're we're very excited about it, and that's what I'd be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly sounds very appealing, particularly for businesses that do tend to be doing quite a lot of spending. You might as well be earning something for all that spend. And there's always such a good feeling when you're actually able to enjoy an experience just with rewards points. It's not coming out of your actual dollar. You're using points.
It's just so much more
I
satisfying,
confess.
isn't it?
I confess that, back in the day, I was one of those people that just thought credit cards were a big con and I should steer clear of them. But from about a decade ago when we worked together, Daniel, you were the bad influence or good influence, sorry, that convinced me of the benefits of credit cards because you're telling me about all these free flights you were able to get with credit cards. And I've since then, got myself a card and I've got loads of points. I've got enough points for return flights for me and my partner to go off to, various different, Vanuatu or Fiji or anything. I've just got them all saved in the bank. So I'm definitely well and truly hooked on the whole thing now.
I'm so happy to hear that, Tom, because yes, it was really hard to convince people in those days. But look, I will say 10 years ago or whenever it was around then, I think, the loyalty market has very greatly evolved as well. So it's much more mainstream. People are getting it a lot more. It was still a bit newer in those days, but it's great.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for your time on the Savings Tip Jar podcast, Daniel. Really appreciate your insights.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Daniel. Great plug. Your bosses would be happy.